Welcome to the Marketing Revolution Podcast. This is the underground movement of savage marketers from all over the world. We are not Fortune 500 companies. We are real entrepreneurs with real businesses that have one major thing in mind: to set goals and devour them daily. Because we understand everyone wants to eat, but only savage marketers are willing to do the hunt. Now let's get this revolution started. Hey, what's up, everybody? John Hiley here with the Marketing Revolution Podcast and the Marketing Savage Facebook group, coming to you with another couples episode with your host that be bringing the motherfucking most, Angela motherfucking Hiley.
I wasn't able to do that last time. Actually, I felt like that podcast that we did, like you were on fire, and I was just like, wah, wah, wah.
Well, that's because you smoke too much weed.
No, it wasn't. It was because like last weekend, I was doing a bunch of home projects, and before we put the house on the market.
That's true.
And I mean, there's still 2 more that I have to do, which I will get done on Sunday. But I have way more energy this time around.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah, we just got done having dinner up at Fleming's, where if you guys follow my motherfucking Instagram, you would see that massive seafood tower that we just ended up eating.
And I gave John the shits.
Wow. I hope nobody's eating their Chick-fil-A biscuit this morning. Hey, sometimes it's worth it, though.
You're always telling people about me and my pooping stories.
Well, you know, here's the interesting thing. We got this pizza place. Anybody who lives around the Dayton area called Marion's Pizza.
Yeah. And
anytime I've ever ate that place, I mean, you know, you'd have to basically run to the restroom afterwards. Mm-hmm. And the funniest thing was, back in the day, I was doing some work down in Cincinnati, and we were all talking about like local restaurants, and there was kind of like an older dude there, probably in his 60s. And he goes, you know, then we got on the subject of Marion's Pizza. It's like a landmark place, you know. And I thought the pizza maybe just gave me the shits. And we were talking about it. He goes, I love that Marion's. He goes, but man, after I eat that, I about have to pull over and hang my ass over a guardrail.
Yeah.
That's how quick it'll hit you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen.
I thought about, no, we got to tell them about what I'm gonna do to people.
Oh, okay.
Like,
go right ahead.
I'm gonna drive past people
that
have masks on that are walking outside. Like, we get this place called The Green. It's like an outdoor mall.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna drive past them and I'm gonna yell at them and be like, "You don't have to wear that outside."
Oh, I thought we were just gonna be walking around and you were gonna say that.
We could do that too. And then I'm gonna tell them that I have a fart condition.
If you gotta say it fast enough.
I'm like, and I even have a fart condition.
To where it's almost people are thinking a heart condition.
That's right. We want to make them think.
But it's not. It's a fart
I'm going to go around
condition.
telling people I've got a fart condition. Like, just say it real fast, you know, and just let them know that my doctor's taking me off milk and beans and broccoli and kale. I'll be like, you know, it doesn't really bother me that much, but it really
dairy products. That's what really gets you.
It really is painful for everybody around me.
Just a warning: anytime when John eats ice cream, stay away from him afterwards.
I like it, you know. I mean, I just
nobody wants to smell your.
But I think it's so funny. I mean, come on, all you guys got to admit, man. If you're a dude and you fart on somebody and it stinks really bad, it's just fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's funny from a distance, just as long as, you know, I don't want to whiff of that shit.
Yeah.
No, thank you. So what shall we talk about this evening,
Since
John
we've ruined
Hiley?
your breakfast this morning, I mean, you're probably listening to this fresh Monday morning.
They don't listen. I honestly feel that if anybody listens to a couples episode, that's me and you, then they should be very prepared that you never know.
Get really fucked up on this podcast.
Listen, I love it when there's a group of people and we're sitting around and somebody tells a good fart story or a poop story, because I think it's hilarious.
And everybody's got one.
I like them. I'm sorry, I do. I mean, I don't know if a lot of women are like that, but hey, who doesn't love a good fart story? Who doesn't love a good shit story?
Gotta have a little fun in life.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't get offended.
It's like Larry the Cable Guy says, you got a brown snake playing peekaboo with your butthole.
You know, maybe it's because since my husband is so manly, and then obviously we had a son together. So, you know.
I've seen it all.
You know, I would say that's probably why.
But we still run into couples who can't fart in front of each other.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. That's wrong. If y'all cannot like fart in
Come
front
on,
of each
man.
other,
What,
like you guys are holding that back or like hiding from each other because you guys don't want to fart, like there's something wrong there.
There's not, when you love somebody, you got to love the crust of a motherfucker. You got to love the crust of that motherfucker.
Yeah. Yes, you do.
And if you're hiding around farts, then you don't technically love the crust of that motherfucker. Or what are you going to do? You like going to fart and then they're going to like, I divorce you. You farted.
I don't know. I find that very weird though.
Well, it's almost like that movie with, Seth, you know what I'm talking about? The one where they go over to North Korea and they go over to that Seth dude, the dude who was on
Seth Rogen?
Knocked Up, Seth Rogen. So they travel over to North Korea, and everybody in North Korea doesn't think that the grand leader even takes a shit.
How did they get over there? What is that movie called? We haven't watched that in like forever.
We need to watch that again. It's hilarious. They
It's
let them
actually pretty
into North Korea.
Yeah.
And James Franco is in the movie, and he ends up hanging out with the great leader. And kind of getting influenced by him, you know what I mean? Like, kind of like how they bring Dennis Rodman over there and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard in North Korea, everything's set up, everything's staged. Like, when they bring people over into their country, they, like, set up, like, it's really fucking weird.
They like to play pretend.
Like, some dude was saying that, like, so to make, like, you as a visitor feel like they have bountiful food, they would take you out to dinner in, like, a restaurant, and the whole restaurant would be, like, nobody else fucking in there. Like, just your group of people, and they would literally, like, serve food to every fucking table in the restaurant. Mm-hmm. So you're sitting there, and they're serving food to you, but there's, like, all these tables around you, and they're serving food to these tables with nobody fucking sitting at them, and then taking the food and throwing it away.
Awkward.
Because they're trying to convince to the world, like, we have plenty of food. We have so much food in this restaurant. Can't you see that we're serving fucking tables with nobody there?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some
Weird shit.
It is what it is.
You know, when that movie came out, I can't remember the damn name of that movie.
That's okay.
But whenever that movie came out, there was a threat, and that was during Obama's presidency, and there was a threat by the North Korea to fucking like retaliate against us if we played this movie. And
I think I remember some of that.
Yeah, and basically Obama said he didn't give a shit. That I can respect that he said.
Yeah.
I'm surprised his little bitch ass didn't say, "Whoa, let's not do this. We'll offend the North Koreans."
Him tucks his wiener in between him legs.
Oh, he was fucking. Yeah, to be honest with you, like, hey man, you guys know that I'm a Trump fan and all that stuff, but Obama wasn't a bitch. I mean, he really wasn't. I mean, he did things a different way, but I mean, I don't really consider him as a bitch. I think this new president we have is a bitch.
Him tucks his wiener between him legs.
We'll see how that pans out with this guy. We were actually talking about that shit, how they're potentially talking about, like, if you don't take the fucking COVID vaccine, which I'm not taking, but if you don't take that, they're going to allow stores to have, like, a COVID passport.
A vaccine
like
passport.
A vaccine passport.
Which doesn't make any sense
and
because
stores are going to tell people they can't shop there.
That's I don't know. That's
COVID
fucked
vaccine.
up because, there's a lot of vaccines that we've gotten when we were kids and shit like that, and we didn't have to. I mean, we had our vaccine record and stuff like that.
Well, technically, you don't have to get your kids vaccine with that shit either.
No, I don't. See, I don't know what it's like in other states, but I know in Ohio, if you do not want your kids to have the vaccines or whatever, like, you don't have to, and you just sign a form. Now, they'll make you feel guilty. They'll put a guilt trip on you and stuff like that. Like, how dare you not, like, have your kid get its, vaccines, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
this and that.
The thing is, though, when you're younger, you get a polio vaccine, you don't get one again.
No, and those things,
right?
they wear off over time.
They're going to be giving people this shit every year.
Well, it's going to be
more
like,
frequent than that.
It's going to be like it's going to be like the flu shot.
Fuck that. That's why I'm glad we're moving to Texas, because I know if there's going to be a place that's going to be really hard to get over on people, it's going to be in Texas.
Yeah.
They'll probably pull that shit off in California and have everybody lining up like fucking sheep.
Well, I'm ready to be a Texan. In all
We're getting
honesty,
close.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I'm going to be living in the South and I get to be a Southern belle. But then when I looked up the definition of a Southern belle, I'm like, I don't really think I really fit the Southern belle thing. But then you even told me, you're like, well, you can just be a Southern belle and just put your own twist to it.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd be like the new Southern belle.
Yeah. Yeah, I just shared a meme on my timeline. It was like how Texans welcome you to welcome newcomers to their state and their neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it was like a meme of Tony Soprano, and he said, don't be bringing none of that California bullshit here.
Yeah.
And I would hope to say, like, the people that I know from California, I love, like most of them anyway.
Mm-hmm.
There's definitely some fucking goofballs out there, but we know we got Monica, who runs the mother trucker deal.
Mm-hmm.
We got Dennis, who is our scientist. So he's our scientist when it comes to drink formulas and lab shit.
Yeah.
And I love them too, but they're like technically they're like not really. And Tony, we got our boy Tony, who's an investment advisor, who's just the fucking life of the party.
Yeah.
But deep down, they live in California because they still like it a little bit. And I was even talking to Dennis about this earlier today. He was kind of messaging me back and forth. And he just said people in California are pessimistic now. And I don't really remember that California.
No,
Like I see
don't
it from
either.
a distance. But the last time me and her was in California,
Which was like forever
that was like
ago.
back in like 2003.
Yeah.
We were in California in
2004.
2003, 2004. And even before that, I spent some time in California, like out in 1999. And people were so fucking happy-go-lucky out there.
Yeah, and so laid
People
back.
were so laid back, so fucking cool. They didn't have their fucking panties all up in a bunch up their
No,
ass.
and it was all about just being who you were, and everybody was just cool with the way that you were living your life. There was
There was not a lot of judgment.
Exactly, and it's like now, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Like
Yeah.
that, I think that's like the biggest thing that's going on in America, beside the whole big like division thing, is that people are too judgmental.
Well, see, actually, I made a mistake. We were in California a couple years ago. We were out in the San Diego area. And the one thing that I noticed out there, so I really didn't hang out with a lot of the locals, but occasionally, like, we rented one of these fucking Teslas with the gull wing doors and all that shit and was driving that thing around. And there was a night that we had to drop it off on a charger and let it charge while we went to dinner. And we were picked up by like Uber drivers here and there in between that time. And when we did that, it was like everybody was like so anti-Trump. It's like they lost their shine because they were so in pain about Trump. Like every other word was like, and that's because of Trump. And that's because of Trump. And they were
He wasn't president when we were out there.
Yeah, he was.
He was?
Yeah, he was president when we were
Oh.
out there. We were out
Tells
there,
you
and
how
I
much
think
I was paying
it was probably
attention.
2018 when we were out there.
Really?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, we had an event out there, babe. It
Well,
wasn't
I
that
know
long
that,
ago.
but I don't know.
Yeah, so she's a turd. She
I'm
thinks
not
she
a
remembers
turd.
everying.
I
and
don't
then,
remember because here,
and
I'll
doesn't
bring this
remember
up, and I
nothing.
know that, no, you're right, because remember how we were talking about Dogma and the whole part about when Alanis Morissette was like playing God, or she was God in that movie, and you said something. I was like, no, she went up to Jay and booped him on the nose, but she didn't. She went up and kissed him on the cheek.
That's
So I
right.
was totally wrong. And I was just like, damn, I think I actually do forget things more
She
often.
fudges these things quite a bit.
Yeah, I do.
And she tells me that she claims that she's setting me straight on these stories, right?
I'm
And so not only is she
Maybe
setting me straight,
sometimes, not
well,
all the time.
even this girl, like, if you ever want to get lost, like, listen to her or her brother.
No,
her
no.
her brother giving you fucking directions.
No, I don't do that anymore.
Oh my god!
I haven't done that in like a
If
long time.
they ever say, "I
Nope.
remember how to get home from here,"
No.
go ahead and put your GPS
I don't
on.
do that. I don't do that. When was the last time I gave you directions on how to get somewhere?
It's been a little while.
It's been a long time.
She likes to stomp on the floorboard though, like she's driving. So if I'm driving and she feels like we're getting too close to somebody and I'm not hitting the brakes in time, I'll see her over there stomping on her own little imaginary brake.
Well, obviously, I'm not the only woman that does that because we were out to dinner with some other people and they were like, oh, yeah, she does. Oh, I do that too. Oh, yeah, my wife does the same thing. So it must be very common.
So what I'm going to get her is like a little drivey and a beepy horn, and I'm going to put it up on the dashboard.
I'm going to have my little honky horn.
Honk, honk.
Yeah.
We'll go around corners. She can steer as well.
I'm not as bad as what I used to be.
Yeah, you're not too bad. Don't worry. I'll let you do some chores on Sunday. You'll be able to make it up.
Thank you so much, John. I so appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
At least I'm not getting the evil eye on this podcast.
No, I love it.
It's nice to have a little playful banter, though.
Oh, I love it when we're like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's
one of my favorite things.
She like it like that.
I like it like that.
We went over to into the fucking what was the store we just went into?
Dillard's.
We went into Dillard's.
I like Dillard's.
We were like the only two people because it's a mask mandate here, so they actually try to mandate you to fucking wear the mask, and we're like the only two people in the store not wearing one. I've seen a couple deflectors. But we're starting to see more.
Listen, I was like, you know what? This girl put on some decent clothes. Like I'm looking pretty good today. I put some makeup on my face. I did my hair up. I put some earrings in. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't wearing a fucking mask in a damn store. No. I had my lips were all shiny. Had some pretty lip gloss on and stuff like that. I'm like, nope. Not today. You know what it was? Is because last time we were in Texas, like I enjoyed it so much. I'm like, oh
yeah,
yes,
especially up in the Frisco area.
My freedom.
They're still trying to guilt trip you when you get closer to downtown.
Fuck that.
They're still trying to put signs on the doors saying that
we're in this together, y'all.
Yeah, we're in this together. Put a fucking diaper on your face that doesn't work, by the way.
Something about caring.
And yeah, that basically lowers your immune system, makes you more susceptible to get the fucking virus. Everybody I know that got it was a fucking mask wearer. All of us out here that are just breathing free air every chance we get are not getting the shit. On top of Texas, when they dropped the mask mandate, the cases went down.
And they don't
I've been telling y'all this from fucking the day one during this thing. I've been telling each and every one of you guys, go to my fucking timeline, go back and listen to me arguing. I had hundreds of comments of people that were fucking so brainwashed that this shit was actually working, that they believed the shit that they was hearing on the news, which was a bunch of bullshit. I played videos where the news prior to doing the mask mandate, because they didn't want you to buy them. They wanted to buy them first and then sell them to you, but they didn't want you to buy them to begin with, right? And they actually were on the news saying that they did not work. And then the narrative changed. The fucking pivot happened. The same news channel that was saying, do not wear them, they do not work, went on to say, yes, they actually do work, and yes, you have to wear them.
But Donald Trump was saying that shit too.
Well, that was his fucking downfall. I said that from the beginning too. I said he just made his downfall. When he fell in line with all of that bullshit, when he fell into all that whole narrative. I don't trust
any of them fuckers.
When he fell into that whole narrative, America should have just said, fuck it, no. You know what? If a disease comes along, let it fucking run its course. People, if you're scared, let's put teams together to get food to your house and stuff like that.
No, that's true.
Right? There's plenty of people that'll work together to get food to people and make sure they're okay. Some sort of infrastructure, community infrastructure should have been set up like that. And if you're scared of the shit or you got some sort of condition, then you know what? You need to work from home. You need to stay home. But other than that, the people who want to risk it,
just do your thing. Just do your thing.
The people who want to risk it, get out there and fucking do your thing. We would have had herd immunity in 90 days. It would have ran through like nothing before. And guess what? The you guys notice that the hospitalization's way down. That's because at the beginning stages of a virus, it's much more potent. But as it goes from person to person to person to person, it dilutes the potency of it gets diluted. Mm-hmm. So we would have got that shit over with.
You know what? I got something to talk about, and this will be a very interesting subject.
What?
John's like, oh no. No, so this was like, I don't know, a couple months ago or something of the nature. I think it was the Grammys were on. And this is something that actually I've been wanting to talk about, but I guess like my brain just hasn't been functioning properly, you know?
Imagine that.
I've been in Stonerville. Well, that's what, in the evenings. It's not like during the day. It's just in the evenings when it's...
Just every evening and all day on the weekends.
No, it's not all day. No, because I won't do that stuff if we're going into a store, because that will kind of like, I'll pick up people's energies and all that kind of stuff. And the next thing you know, I'm like, man, I got to get the fuck out of here. So if I do that around people, I got to make sure that I'm around the right people, so I feel comfortable. So anyways, this was back in the Grammys, and it was like a big thing. Everybody was like talking about Cardi B and her performance and whatnot. And I was like, you know what? I was like, let me watch this performance just to see what it was all about. And I watched it, and I was like, you know what? I was like, it was a shitty performance. I was like, she could have done so much better. You know, I thought her dancing was off. I thought whatever she did to her rear end, it did not look good. I'm like, girl, you should have kept your butt the way it originally looked. But the thing was, is like, you have a bunch of people, I would say like women, and then of course like some men, and they're just like, oh, this was so horrible. This was so disgusting. And I'm just thinking like, but don't you all remember like back in the day, you know, like when Little Kim was around, or Adina Howard or Foxy Brown, or, you know, I mean, you can, how I want to say it is just like, she's really not doing anything out of norm. I think what she's probably doing is maybe she's trying to like push the button a little bit further, but I'm just like, we've already seen all this shit.
You know what? You know when you know you're fucking old is when you start saying that something's too vulgar, or that was so terrible. It was so vulgar. I'm just fucking too old, and I suck. I grew up during fucking 2 Live Crew, Eazy-E. I still listen to the shit today.
So do I.
NWA, The Brat, and to be honest with you, I ain't gonna fucking lie. The whatever latest Cardi B song that is out, the one has fucking probably the dopest beats that I've heard in a long time.
It does
come from rap. It sounds like fucking old school rap if you listen to it, right?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing. Like, most people would just say, "Oh, Cardi B, blah blah blah," but like they fall into a fucking narrative. That's like being a sheep, right? So if I fucking, you know, I don't give a fuck if like every conservative person says, "Well, Cardi B was such a fucking, you know, it was so disgusting on stage." I'm not gonna go, "Oh yeah, that's disgusting." I'm gonna be like, dude, I fucking grew up listening to 2 Live Crew and shit like that, man. There ain't no way she's saying as bad as shit like that. And then I go to listen to it, and I'm like, you know, to be honest with you, I mean, like she said, I haven't looked at her ass, but if she fucked up her ass, that's fucking stupid. But
she did, and she shouldn't have did it. I'm like, girl, don't do that. You don't need a fucking diaper.
Well,
baby.
look at Kanye West. Was that Kim Kardashian?
They're getting a divorce.
Well, her ass was way fucked up. Like, you know, I understand wanting to make your ass big, but when it like what she said, when it looks like a diaper ass,
yeah,
like skinny legs and that giant ass, it just doesn't flow.
No.
Yeah, that's, I mean, you know, I'm all for a big ass. Don't get me wrong. But that's just the wrong shape of an ass. It's not like the bigger's the better, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a certain point where if it's not fucking proportioned with the rest of the body, then that fucking ass looks terrible.
Yes, it does.
And yeah, you know, she fucked up and did that.
She
but
did.
I listened to
and
that.
I was like, girl, you don't need to be messing with your ass.
There's a song it's called Up, right?
Yeah.
That's got some of the fucking dopest, like whoever's making her beats, like you can compare them beats like back to like Dr. Dre shit.
Yeah.
Or back to like Mike Jones type shit.
Yeah. But the point that I was like getting at is I was like, they were just like, oh, she's so disgusting and all this and that. And I'm like, you know what would have been really shocking is if she would have came out there and her performance was polar opposite to the image that she has out now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if she would have came out wearing some type of like not so provocative outfit and came out and was like maybe rapping something different or singing something different, people have been like, wow.
Yeah, but that's not her crowd, though. She ain't trying to impress a bunch of old people that are saying, that's so disgusting.
No.
Do you see? Like, she
But
ain't
it
trying
was-
to. She ain't
but
trying to
what
like
was funny
rap
is
to
like
them.
I was talking to Kelly about this. I'm like, girl, don't you remember? I was like, we were all down with like Little Kim, you know, like Dina Howard, and I mean, it's like, come on now, the
Yeah.
girl's just out there trying to like push the button. But I think
I ain't gonna hate on it.
but I
I'm not
think
gonna
like
hate on her.
in all honesty, I'm just
She's
thinking
fucking killing it right now.
she
I
is,
gotta tell
and
you that.
I
And I love
personally-
success.
And I think personally, like our generation and like the music that we grew up in, we've already pushed that button.
Yeah.
They can't really push it anymore. Do you know what I'm
can't-
saying?
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I mean, that's why music's been so fucked up for so long. Like in the rap era, like you don't hear shit like whatever this song is, "Up" by Cardi B. It sounds a lot like the old school rap era. She
Yeah.
came back and came out with a song that has that same vibe. I don't know if you guys like remember the Brat, which is probably one of the best female rappers, you know, as well.
Yeah.
I'm like she's, I believe this latest song, I haven't listened to all of her songs, but the latest song is pretty fucking close to that shit.
Yeah, it is.
I ain't gonna hate on her.
No, I
You know,
don't
and
hate
that's the
on her
thing.
either.
You know, I see like so many people in society, they just fall into and make a decision based on like what other people that are like them feel. And then the problem with that is like something happens and then you're not even fucking thinking for yourself. And that's not me. So like I'm not going to just automatically believe or feel some certain way because a group that I am particularly close to politically whatever thinks,
Yeah.
right? So, you know, if because I've seen it. Like I've seen you mentioned the word Cardi B in like a group of conservatives. They probably you could watch the scowl just hit all of their faces, right?
Yeah, but the thing is like, you know, all this shit is out there and they're like, well, I don't want my kids to like look up to her and I don't want my kids to do that. And I'm like,
shut the
well,
fuck
I'm like,
up.
you're the fucking parent. This is your job. Okay. This is what we live in. You as a parent have to be responsible and like tell your kids, like, you know, if I had a girl, I'm like, okay, I understand that you like the music, but you don't need to grow up and be like her. Okay.
I mean, what are we supposed to do? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, force them not to do that or say that? That's as much as communism as it is to force people to fucking take and steal their money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same fucking thing, but it's on one end of the spectrum. That's the big problem with America is that we got two fucking we got a two-party political party system that all wants to steal freedoms in one area. So if you look at the way the Republican Party wants to steal freedoms, that would be your personal freedoms. Like, what if fucking gay people go get married? Like, I don't give a shit. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want. You know, gambling, you know, anything like that. Cardi B, you know, disgusting. You know, Newt Gingrich, disgusting. That is so disgusting. You know, and then you got the Democrats on the other side that like fucking love that shit and they're okay with people doing whatever the hell they want. But on the other end,
They wanna take
think
our
that
money.
Everybody should be contributing, and we're going towards this utopian society. And you know, and then they go overboard and taking away freedoms by probably overcompensating, like the whole racism fucking thing.
Oh, dear
That like
God.
the only people that are fucking out there bantering about it are usually like old white dudes and or white people in general, like these liberal white people. And then you got them trying to like pin all this fucking racism guilt on one side, and then you got this other side over here that's trying to say, you know, to act like it just doesn't exist at all, which is as much
You know,
bullshit.
In all honesty, okay, listen, racism, it's gonna be there forever. There's just gonna be some people that are just gonna be, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be
technically-
ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Technically, racism is that you feel that your race is superior over another race.
But they're no
I
matter.
mean, that could be said for people who are Greek, you know, because I've met people who are very proud to be Greek, and they're very, you know, loyal that, yeah, you know, they were basically doing advanced mathematics while other people were still, you know, pulling plows or, you know, hunting and gathering and shit, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, there's that sense, okay, so we're a smarter culture, we're more superior culture, you know? So, yeah, there is always going to be a sense of that, but is it, like, harmful, right? You know, is it harmful? But the truth of the matter is, I mean, we're at a point and a stage in life where we've just got to realize that like everybody now has the opportunity to actually become the biggest and best version of themselves.
Yeah.
We should be looking to lift races up. We should be looking to 100% take that shit out of our mind, out of our heart, out of our soul.
Exactly.
And we should be, because I'll tell you guys this, man, the people that we leave behind, the people that get left behind as a society in whole, we will never be able to progress. We will always 100% be held back by the people that are left behind. So if we, as a society as a whole, now I'm not talking about the government. I'm talking about as a society as a whole, if we're not committed to shining our light, sharing it with other cultures, bringing other cultures up, then, you know, we're doomed, because we're going to be held back by the people that we leave behind.
Yes.
So we have to focus on that. We have to focus on sharing our word, spreading our message. And this isn't done like by voting a certain guy into office. This is
No.
done like individually, day by day, person by person, working in our communities, serving in our communities, one by one, moment by moment. Like, all of us have to be on board with this. That's why this success shit is so important to me, because I believe like what we're talking about, what we're doing can change the world. You know, and a world, to me, a world where we're shining our light, we're becoming the best version of ourselves. We unconsciously unlock other people's ability to shine their light. And the way business is going, like I got my dude Kirk, who owns Linear Roofing, who his roofing company is a motivational company.
Yeah.
Like, they bring their people together. They bring in speakers. They live, eat, and breathe this stuff that we're talking about today. They build their culture around it. You know, imagine the ripple effect of that, because Kirk's in 9 states and he hires people in just about every community in every one of them states. The ripple effect by bringing them people into that environment and them going back to their environments and then leaving a ripple effect in their community is massive. And that's why I believe that we all should be on this this mission. We all should be on this journey, because as we help ourselves, we help others.
Yeah.
As we become better, we can unlock people's capabilities. We can allow people to shine that are around us, that are in our proximity. It's a butterfly effect. I mean, and even if it starts at home with your children, with your family, with the people that are just around you immediately, that is a ripple effect that goes out into the world. So to me, that's why it's so important.
Yeah. No, I feel you. I totally agree with you. I think Bob Marley, definitely, he most preached everything that you were just saying right there.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know what? Like, back in the day, John and I'm pretty sure that I have like mentioned this, but when we were in our, I'm just going to say like mid-20s, we went to Chicago, Illinois, and we went to a Bob Marley festival, and it was all of his sons up there on stage singing. Also, Robert Toots which was a very close friend to Bob Marley. And his family was up there, and you got to like shake hands with him.
He came out and shook my hand.
Yeah.
Haven't washed it since.
And but the thing is like at that festival, you know, there was any walk of life, like they were there, and it was probably one of the best times that we've ever had, because everybody was just. There wasn't
the Bob Marley fests have a different vibe than anything I've ever been to.
Yeah, there wasn't any. There was no type of judging people. It was just a, you know, I mean, from rich people to poor people to any type of individual that you could. There was so much diversity there, and it was just a really good time.
Well, and also, like, if you go to a place like that and you just know that the people around you are into Bob Marley, you immediately have like this silent respect for everybody around you.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the Bob Marley cult. I don't know if I ever told you guys this, but there was a time where I worked, and when I worked at this, like, it was a car wash, I was the manager. And I also had like a detailing department that I built out onto the car wash. And I listened to a Bob Marley album for like 2 years straight. Like 2 fucking years straight. I just played this thing over and over and over and over and over again. And then when I came home, we would watch a Bob Marley concert.
Yeah.
Which was the live one in Pittsburgh, the one previous to his death.
What?
Was on his American tour.
No, he was out. He was out in Santa Barbara when that one.
Okay.
That's the one that we would always watch.
Yeah.
And everybody in that crowd, don't you remember? Like that, I would have loved to have been there. Just the energy that was there, and just the way that the people were so happy. I'm just like, man, you're so fucking lucky to be there.
We named our kid Jonathan Lennon Marley Hiley.
Yeah.
He's got 2 middle names.
That's okay.
She wanted to name him after John Lennon, the famous Beatle.
Yeah.
And I wanted to name him after Bob Marley.
Yeah, so we
who
just
was
stuck it together.
At that time, my, my spiritual savior.
Well, yeah, I honestly feel that he's still a lot of people's spiritual savior as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you don't
Bring
know
me close to the Lord.
I know. So if you don't know who Bob Marley is, or you don't listen to his music, I highly recommend you getting into it, because let me tell you, it soothes the soul.
You get to have that Rastaman vibration. It's positive.
Well, in all honesty, if you like his music, is timeless. You can listen to my favorite album, which is Survival. If you listen to that, like, he's singing about a lot of shit that's going on today in this world.
That shit's going down now.
Yeah.
Like, he knew they was trying to, these Babylonians.
He did.
These Babylon motherfuckers.
He did,
He knew the devil was attacking the world.
Exactly.
You've seen it now, man. You've seen it now.
Yep.
That shit about them trying to make you take a passport to go into stores if you don't get a vaccine. That shit ain't too far from some fucking prophecy shit.
I just don't see that shit flying. I really don't.
Well, that's why we're going to move to Texas, because we'll better chance over there.
We going to the promised land, yo.
That's the one thing about Texas as well, is that, number one, the law enforcement are not going to be on board with taking people's guns there.
No.
The second thing, if you was a police officer, would you really like to be told in Texas, you got to go to a bunch of fucking rednecks' doors, knock on them, and try to get their fucking guns?
No, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah. So that's the land I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. And appreciate you. And as usual...
Oh, I guess I'll have to talk about the wiener story the next time, huh?
Oh, you're going to have to remember it. And as usual, we'll see you on that next one.
And remember, it's all about the motherfucking hustle.